All right, so today I want to talk about vocal effects in FL Studio and want to give you a brief tutorial on how to set up the basics. If you'd like a free step-by-step guide on how to create a professional sounding track in under 2 hours with no musical theory knowledge, no experience necessary, using just a low-cost DAW and free things you can find on the internet, just type the word yes, Y-E-S, in the comments below, and I will DM that over to you. My name is Jason Dowdy. I've been an artist and producer for over 20 years, working with people like Timbaland and Aaliyah, and I help artists learn how to produce so they can take their career to the next level. So if you want that free training, just type the word YES in the comments, and I'll DM that over to you. But today we're here to talk about the basics of setting up effects for your vocals. So I'm just going to bring up FL Studio real quick. Let me share my screen. All right. Here we go. Doesn't want to share today. Let me give it another try. Okay, well, let's try something else. Let's try just sharing the window. Oh, it's not going to share the audio. All right, let me give it one more try. I'm having a little technical difficulty. Oh, there we go. All right, perfect. Okay, so I've got FL Studio up here real quick, and I just chose a vocal from a vocal pack that I found on Splice. Let me turn off the effects real quick. Sounds like this.
I could be alone with you. Just wanna be alone with you. I could be alone with.
It's from the Emily Vaughn sample pack. If you're looking for it, if you happen to have a Splice account, that's the one I'm using. But as you can hear, it's a completely dry vocal. There's no reverb, there's no delay, there's nothing on it.
I could be alone with you.
So how you can set that up is once you get your good recording, you can hear this has been compressed, it's been mixed. So it's a good vocal to start with just to show how you can add effects. So what I've done is on the vocal channel, you can see that there's 3 different sends. This one's going to the ER verb, which I'll explain what that is in just a moment. This one right here is going to the next one, which is the long tail verb. I'll explain what that is as well. And then finally, we have our delay, and that's where the third send is going to. So in order to use send, Fruity Send, you have to set up side chaining. So you choose your vocal track. Here, I'll unside chain them real quick. And you just right click over here and you just select side chain to this track. Don't choose side chain to this track only or route to this track. Just side chain to this track. And I'm going to do that for all 3. That might have messed up my sends. So I'm just going to go back, make sure this one's on 2. Oh, you can see once you can choose the one it's going to. So you can see this is ER verb. This one is going to be long tail verb. And then this one is going to be, and when I say verb, it's reverb, if you're wondering what that means. All right, and then delay. All right, great. Okay, so ER stands for early reflections. And it's the very first signals, like all reverb is it's the sound that you're producing is echoing back at you from surfaces in your room, right? If you're in a small room, there's not going to be a long tail reverb. It's all going to be very quick reverb coming back at you in milliseconds. If you're in a huge, cathedral, with, real solid walls that will send sound back to you, you may have more of a hall effect, right? So that's all reverb is. I like to set up one reverb for early reflections. Sometimes I use plate, but for this one, I'm going to use early reflections. So it's just that it doesn't sound like you're dead in a booth and it's just a very dry signal. It gives you that little bit of space initially for that vocal. And then a long tail verb, I like to use, like a hall reverb and that type of thing to add a lot of spatial sound. And then we're going to do something called ducking so that when the vocal is being sung, that long tail reverb is going to pull back so you can hear that vocal clearly. But once you'll hear when she's done singing, it'll just ring out. Okay, so let's start with the early reflector. So we have our vocal. We've got it side chained over here. I just added a fruity reverb. If you're wondering what the ER stands for, that's early reflections right there. I've got that turned all the way up, and I've got the wet all the way up. And the reason that I'm routing these to other channels is that I now have control over how much ER verb we're adding to the vocal. So I'm going to play with it a little bit and let you hear it.
I could be alone with you. Just wanna be alone with you. I could be alone with you. Hey,
So here it is without it,
I could be alone with you.
then with it.
Just wanna be alone with you. I could be alone.
See? So it sounds like she's actually in a room. So that's a good start. Now let's talk about the long reverb. Let's see if this... Oh, okay. So what I did was I added reverb again right here. Turned the decay up. I'd also like to cut out some of the low frequencies on the reverb, just so it rings out high. This vocal's already been mixed and all the low end's been taken out, so it really doesn't matter as much with this one. So I'm just going to turn the low cut up just a little bit. But you can see it's all the way wet, and I have the decay up pretty high right here. Decay is how long the signal will continue to reverberate. The more the decay goes up, the bigger the room you're in, and the longer that it lasts. Okay, and then I also set up the fruity limiter, and we're going to choose it. You have the choice between limit and compression. We're going to choose comp for compression right here. I'm going to sidechain it. It's not letting me sidechain. And when I took the side chains off, it kind of messed it up. So give me a second here. It is sidechained. I may have to reload it. Let me see. Yeah, it's not letting me sidechain. All right, let's reload it. So I'm going to delete that. And reload it. I think it messed it up whenever I unsidechained everything. So let's find our limiter. There we go. Okay, we're going to choose compression. There we go. Sidechain. Perfect. Now, what we're going to adjust is the threshold and the ratio. So if I just play it...
I could be alone with you.
Let me turn it up real loud here. You hear all that delay?
I could be alone with you. Just wanna be...
Just swimming in delay, right? Which is great. We want that long tail, but we also want to hear the vocal clearly. So I'm just going to turn down the threshold quite a bit, and I'm going to turn up the ratio and hear what that sounds like.
I could be alone with you. Just wanna be alone with you. I could be alone with you. Hey, I could be alone with you. Just wanna be alone with you.
And that's kind of the effect that we're looking for. We probably don't want it up that loud, but I just wanted to turn it up so you could hear what it's doing.
I could be alone with you. Just wanna be alone with you. I could be alone with you. Hey.
There, now we have a nice long tail reverb right there. And then finally delay. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to sidechain it. We're going to turn up the threshold and the ratio. You can see I've got the threshold almost all the way down. And we're going to do the same thing with the delay. So I've just added fruity delay. I use tempo sync to put it into, I think it's 8th notes. We'll hear it in a minute.
I could be alone with you. Just wanna be alone with you. I could be alone.
You can hear that delay. We're going to turn it down a little bit.
I could be alone with you. Just wanna be alone with you. I could be alone with you.
Okay. Here's the vocal without effects. And then I'll turn on each effect.
I could be alone with you. Just wanna be alone with you. I could be alone with you. Hey.
All right, and that's it. That's a basic tutorial on how you can add effects to vocals. I hope this has helped you. Let me stop sharing my screen real quick. There we go. I hope this has helped somebody out there. One more time, if you'd like a free course on how to create a professional track in under 2 hours using only a low-cost DAW, free things you can find on the internet with no music theory knowledge, no experience required, just go ahead and write the word yes, Y-E-S, in the comments below, and I will DM that over to you. But until then,